So first, I just want to say thank you to all the women and all the feminines who have made their way to my channel, who have subscribed to me, who have given me lots of love and support. I'm sending it right back to y'all. If you have been subscribed to me for a while, you know I've talked about how I've been trying to manifest more women over here, and I have successfully been able to do that. I do want to see an increase in more numbers, but I am grateful for the fact that it has worked. So welcome. I do want to try to make a little bit more videos catered to my feminines, because I am one, and I just feel like because of the time we're moving into, it's very important for us to pour into each other in any way that we can. There is a lot of information going around as far as what a divine feminine is, what a goddess is, about us reclaiming our power, and also a lot of talk about like providers and things like that. There's a lot of information going around, and I just want to say to my feminines, my ladies, my women, that take what's for you and leave the rest, okay? You do not have to follow these special rules and guidelines that these creators are putting out, nor do I believe that these creators are trying to force you to conform to their way of thinking. And this goes with anybody or anything. When you have people who get on these platforms and they're using their voice, they are speaking from their perspective and their point of life and everything they have learned and gone through up until that point in time. Okay, I feel like that should be common knowledge, but it's not. And that's why a lot of people are very judgmental, and they lack understanding of the fact that someone can come on their platform and communicate something to them that they may not agree with, and their first thought is to say, oh, this person's wrong. That person's not wrong just because you do not agree with what they're saying and their perception. Y'all are just different. But that does not mean that you cannot take some type of value from it. Some of you will come across my channel or other people's channel and feel like everything I say is just on point, and you like it. That's because we're aligned, okay? We're aligned. We are in alignment. And there are others of you who feel like everything I say is wrong, or I'm making things up, I'm a fraud, I'm whatever. You don't understand me and my way of spirituality. That's because you're not meant to. You're not meant to understand me. I'm not for you to understand. So I'm saying that to say, when you have people, because there's going to be more, y'all see these podcasts popping up. You see a lot of people who are using their voice. There's nothing wrong with that, but you see them popping up. They're going to keep coming because most people are seeing how others who are authentically using their voice have benefited off of it. So a lot of those people are going to try to hop on the wave, and it's not going to be authentic. But you're also going to have people who are just simply inspired, and God is calling them to also use their voice in their own way, and they're going to be speaking up, okay? When you see these channels and these people, again, take what's for you and leave the rest. It's not for you to pass judgment. It's not for you to tell these people that they're wrong. It's not for you to do any of that. And if you run across somebody that you do not align with or you do not understand, do not spend time trying to understand them, and just move along and find somebody that you do understand and that you are in alignment with, okay? So for this message, I really wanted to just kind of give my take on the whole divine feminine movement, and also just like, I don't chase, I attract, and what that really, really means, okay? So when I see videos about women who are looking for a certain type of man or woman, whatever you date, you're looking for a certain type of significant other, you're looking for a certain type of lifestyle, whatever. This is my take on this situation, and I'm speaking off of not only experience, but just also like a spiritual level. You do not have to do anything to attract a certain type of man, okay, or woman or lifestyle, okay? I truly believe, and I don't chase, I attract. And I believe that feminines and women, all we have to do is just show up, okay? Our presence is very powerful. It's very healing. It's very nurturing. We don't have to do anything. We just need to show up. You will benefit more from pouring into yourself than you sitting around studying like, oh, if I want this type of lifestyle or this type of man, I need to do this. You can say, oh, I want this in a guy, or I want this in a woman, or I want this in a lifestyle. You can say these things. You can write these things down. You can do your vision boards or whatever. You can do all of that. But at the end of the day, the most important thing that you need to be doing is pouring into you. So if you want to upgrade your looks, you want to upgrade your bank account, please do that, okay? Before you do anything, make sure you are upgrading your bank account, all right? Self-explanatory. Make sure that you are increasing your knowledge and focusing on your health and, going to the gym, things like that, things that are actually good for you. And it's not about, oh, I'm doing this because I want to attract some type of man to me or some type of woman to me. I'm doing this because I value myself and I want to pour into myself regardless of who comes along. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself as far as my beauty, if that's something that you value about yourself. Making sure that I'm taking care of my body. So I'm going to the gym or I'm doing yoga or whatever. I'm putting good things in my body. I'm eating healthy. If I want to upgrade my wardrobe and change my style, I can do that. All of those things are things that you're doing for yourself. All right. Just show up. When I think back to when I was coming up, and it's so funny because I lost this part of myself for a little while. And I don't know where she went, but something happened where she was gone. But it's so funny that when I was an adolescent, when I was like in high school, I'm just myself, y'all. I'm just myself. I'm just showing up. I'm just being me. And me being me attracted, I'm just gonna say, like, masculines who wanted to do for me naturally, okay? This has always been my life. I'm not the pick me. I'm not the chaser. I'm not the person who's like even really thinking about that. Like I don't walk around thinking, and I never have, oh, I just crave love and I just crave a boyfriend. I just crave a man. This is not something I've ever walked around thinking, especially at that time because I was so young. It wasn't something that was on my radar. I just noticed that me being myself and pouring into myself and putting myself first attracted people who also wanted to do that for me, specifically masculines, okay? Because that's what I date. I feel like that's something that a lot of women and feminines can learn from. Just show up and show up as your best version of yourself. Like you have to have the mindset of like I intend to live this certain type of lifestyle. I intend to attract a certain type of partner to me. Like why wouldn't my dream partner want me? Of course they're gonna value me. Like of course, like it's me. Like I love myself that much. Of course this person's gonna value me. And no, I'm not gonna accept less than what I do not deserve because I'm not desperate. Okay. We are now in a kind of a dangerous time for young girls where they are being sold a lie and they are basically being told to sell their soul for a man with money or a rich man or a provider. I don't agree with every single topic on it. Yes, I feel like as a woman, if you want a man who is wealthy, you want him to provide for you, things of that nature, that's okay to want for yourself. But young girls are being sold this lie to like accept anything, like accept abuse, accept cheating, accept just anything and everything just to say that you have this wealthy man. And no, we're not dating broke boys, okay? So don't misconstrue my message because I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, you should not date someone who you feel like is broke. You feel like, okay? You decide what that means. No, I'm not telling you that you should settle or you should date broke men or broken men or men who do not have any ambition or men who are too prideful or whatever it is, or masculines, because some of you date women but you want a masculine woman. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I feel like in the next like 20, 30 years or so, maybe even 10, a lot of those women are going to realize how badly they messed up because they sold themselves to a man just for a certain type of lifestyle because of the whole I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce. Me personally, this is just me, okay? Because I have a lot of women who watch me, I have a lot of girls who watch me, and this is just my opinion and my take on it. I feel like the best thing that you can do and the smart, intelligent thing for you to do as a woman is to make sure that you can provide yourself with a certain type of lifestyle to make you comfortable. If you have dreams, go after your dreams. If there's something in life that you want to do, go do it. If you want to have the mansion and the cars, you should be working towards that for yourself. If it just so happens that a man comes along and he is able to give that to you, that's amazing. But that you should not let that be your end all be all. Your end all be all should not be, I'm going to sit around and I'm going to wait for a provider. I'm going to go out every single night and I'm going to go look for a man to take care of me. Like, I just feel like that's the opposite of feminine energy because you're chasing it. You're putting yourself out there in a way where you're like, I'm about to go outside every night with the intention of finding a provider or finding a certain type of whatever, finding a sugar daddy. Like that's your intentions. It feels to me like you're chasing it. Whereas me, I kind of look at it differently. All right, everybody's has their different opinion. I look at it differently. I look at it like I'm going to spend my time and energy pouring into myself. Whatever the dream woman that I have in my head is 10 times more important than the dream man I have in my head. And I want to pour into her. I want to focus on her because whoever this man is that I want, I cannot build him. I can't create him. I can't, pop. He's not going to pop up out of thin air. He is somewhere in life doing what he is doing. And the only way we're going to cross paths is one, I become my dream woman and I'm pouring into myself and I feel like I'm whole, okay? I'm tapped into my own personal power. I'm confident, but I'm also knowing and believing that I can have that with my thoughts and my feelings. Thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic, right? So if I think that I deserve XYZ and I feel it and I'm confident in that, I will cross paths with that type of person. But I don't have to go like, I don't know how to explain this. I hope this is making sense. Like I don't have to do that. And this is just me. I've never had to do that. Never. I guess that's why my perception is different. Okay? That's why I see this whole movement differently because I've never had to do that. If I want it, it's coming to me because I am the divine feminine. I just show up and I just attract it to me with my mind. Like the mind is really powerful. It's really like that. And I know that if I'm in desperate energy, thirsty, pick me energy, whatever it is that I want is running away from me because I'm trying to chase it and I'm being desperate. Don't be desperate. Don't sit in desperate energy. Like you should feel like a queen, okay? When you think, if you've ever watched like period pieces, the ones about like queens and kings and kingdoms and things like that, the queen, she just shows up. They come to her, okay? That's what masculines are supposed to do, first of all. They come to her. She's on her throne. She's sitting pretty. She is not really thinking about a man. Like, oh, that'd be cool. Like, it'd be nice to have a man, and it's not even like, oh, I'm an independent woman. It's not that type of vibe. Like, I don't need no man. It's not that. It's just the right one will come when they're supposed to come. It's not something that I need to consume my everyday life with or my every thought with. Like, I'm not going to sit around and obsess about it. If anything, I'm going to sit around and obsess over myself. Like, I'm going to pour into me. I want to create my dream woman. Like, I just want to sit pretty and the suitors will come. They will come approach me. And for my goddesses, they will approach you and they should have an offering for you. Okay. If they recognize real, they will approach you with an offering. They will offer something to you and you decide if this offer is worth anything to you, okay? If this is the type of person that you can align yourself with. Is this a king that's gonna match your queen? You know, like when I just think about movies like that, they're just ruling. Like, I'm just ruling my kingdom. I'm ruling my world. I'm not out here trying to catch a man in my net. This is not something I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about how I can get my dream car, my dream home, my dream body, how I can make myself more beautiful, how I can increase my intelligence, how I can get another degree, like things like that. That's what I feel like a true divine feminine is. Like, we just show up. That's it. I hope that makes sense. And the reason that I brought up the story about how I was coming up in high school, because that's the truth. And I think that's where it stems from for me, and why I never cared about things like that, because I never had to. Like, I'm not gonna go into a whole thing about what was getting attracted towards me, because there was good and bad, okay? Because you're gonna attract good and bad, but it's on you to know your worth and your value, and say what is who is allowed to be around you, okay? But I feel like for a lot of women, when we get older, and because of social media, a lot of times it's like a desperation. Like, a lot of women get desperate. They should be married by this time. You see people around you getting engaged and having kids and doing X, Y, and Z, and now you're desperate and you feel like you're not valuable if you don't have a man. What? Like, what? Like, it's quite the opposite. And hey, don't get mad at me, okay? It's quite the opposite. But I'm gonna save that for later, okay? But yeah, there's a lot of women and little girls who feel like they're not valuable if they don't have a man, one. And two, it's also turned into, I'm not valuable if I don't have a man just constantly spending a check on me. And it's like, what these women are not telling you that needs to be said to these young girls and these young women, what comes with that, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, those type of men, unfortunately, because they don't know their value or their worth, and they probably did not get the love they were supposed to get from their mother, or they got their heart broken several times, or maybe they didn't even start attracting any women to them until they started getting money. And you know that type that's like, was never getting laid, and now he has money and now he's getting laid, so he's just out here swinging it like to anybody who's throwing it. Okay. They're not telling girls what comes with that. You are, first of all, you're putting your health at risk, because they're probably mingling with other women, which is disgusting. All right, like, let's just call it what it is. It's not cute for a man to be out here who has no discipline over his body, that he feels like it's okay to go out here and do that and spread his seed and give away his life force. And I'm hoping we're moving into a time where men are starting to realize that as well. Your value decreases as you share your body with all these different women, because if you were a true emperor, if you were a true king, you would not be doing that, because not every woman that you are giving it to is worth it. And the moment that you decide, all right, well, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna have all these women this week, and this next week I'm gonna have these, and you done ran through like 10, 20 women in a month. If you really think about that, that's nasty. It's nasty, and it shows that you do not know your worth or your value. I'm not talking about the people who has experienced some type of sexual trauma that they have not worked through. That's a little bit different, because it's a little bit harder for those people, and they just need to go get help. I'm more so just speaking on the men who feel like it's okay because they are a man, and it's really not, because it diminishes your quality, because anybody can have you. And people are starting to see that. Like, women are starting to see that. It's not about, oh, he's a man, he can do whatever. It's more so like, who's the most disciplined? Who has enough discipline to see their own value and say, I'm going to keep it to myself because I have control over me. I'm not controlled by my penis. I am in control of it. I'm not I'm not letting my penis make decisions for me because I am a king and that would be beneath me to do that. Literally. Okay. So I said all that to say, I kind of got off track, but I said that to say, like, it's not worth selling your soul for. If you have to sacrifice something like your morals and your values and what you truly want out of life just to say that you have a man who is only giving you money and providing for you, you're not being loved on correctly, you're not being invested into correctly, you're not being spoken to correctly, and you got to share him with someone else. Me personally, this is just me, I would rather be single. I'd rather be single and not deal with that headache and get my own check, okay? Because I'm guaranteed to get my own check. I intend to be wealthy with or without a significant other, and it's just not something on my radar. I don't care about it. It'll come when it's supposed to come. But outside of that, I'm just like, I have goals and I'm extremely ambitious and there's things I want out of life. And I don't need a man to give that to me. Like, I'm still gonna get my dream car. I'm still gonna get my dream home. I'm still gonna have every single thing I want out of life regardless, because I intend to, and it's been written, baby. God already said it's mine. Why do I have to lower myself just for these little things? Like, whatever it is that these little girls are being told is more valuable. I feel like they're actually not realizing how much they're lowering themselves. Now, if you are like a heartless woman who does not care and you do what you got to do and it does not affect you, you don't really have emotions, you're not going to feel weird about it in the long run, you're not going to feel guilty, you're happy with the decision that you're making and you just don't feel anything. I mean, you can't take that away from those women. That's how they feel. Do what you got to do. More power to you. But most of y'all are not cut like that. Let's just be real. Most of y'all are trying to embody masculine traits. And I'm not going to say it's unnatural. I'm just going to say that it's not going to work for you because that's not who you are. That's who you feel like you need to be because of social media. I find it very hard to believe that all of these girls, all of these women are happy. And y'all are happy with what you are getting from whoever is providing it to you. Somebody lying. And I just want y'all to stop lying to these girls. Stop lying to these little girls. Tell them what really comes with that lifestyle. Tell them that a lot of y'all have uncurable STDs you can't get rid of because you was screwing on Mr. Johnson and Mr. Johnson got 5 other women just like you. But you have to stay with him and you have to deal with that because he is providing you a certain type of lifestyle that you don't want to run away from. Tell them that you did not have anything in your savings account. You have nothing going for you. You did not work for anything because you allowed this man to come into your life, sweep you off your feet, tell you he's going to pay all your bills, and then up and leave you because he found somebody younger and hotter than you, and now you're left with nothing. Like, these things really happen and people don't talk about it. And I just wanted to give my perception on it in a way that women will understand. You don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to do that. And if you spend more time just pouring into you and like who you want to be and creating this dream woman and being a queen sitting on her throne who does not chase, who is not out in the club every night looking for a provider, no shade, who is just sitting pretty, pouring into her because she does not need any of that, okay? Yes, she will have it. Yes, this is something that she may want, but she does not need it, okay? You don't need that. What you need is you. You got to make sure that before this masculine comes along, you are whole within yourself. Are you genuinely happy, okay? He does not need to come in and fill these empty holes, okay? All of your holes need to be filled and he should only be adding to you, okay? Because if he decides to leave you, which is his right, you got to make sure that you're okay in that moment, all right? And it's division. It's a lot of information going around. It's a lot of women who like, I do not care. I have dealt with broke men and broken men who have treated me like X, Y, and Z, and I got nothing out of it. So I'm going to go deal with a man who was at least giving me money, who is still treating me exactly how this broken man did. And it's like, what did you learn? Like, you didn't really learn anything. And again, for the women who are heartless and that's what they do, hey, more power to you. But for those of you who do crave something real, what did you learn? What did you really gain from that? I can't live a lie. I'm too real. And maybe my realness has gotten me certain things that people deem to be important, but I feel comfortable walking around in my own skin. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't feel like I'm living a lie. I feel like I'm living, like I feel free. And I feel like freedom is worth more than gold. Being able to walk around and just be happy with who you are and not have to sacrifice certain things just to say you have other things, that feels better to me because I feel happier. And I don't have to like settle. Like, it never gave settling. I'm really a queen. Like, I'm really that. Like, I'm really a goddess, and I'm raising a mini queen, and I just would not want to see her settle for certain things that she's not happy with just to say that she has it, whether it be a man or money or resources or whatever. Like, I feel like women, y'all got to find your balance, okay? There's an imbalance with masculine and feminine energy on a really broad scale. And when I'm speaking more towards the feminines, a lot of y'all were tricked into thinking that you can be a man or you can be masculine. That's not you, babe. That was never you. It was never you. It's just that this whole movement started, and the movement was not rooted in love. The movement was rooted in pain and ego and resentment and everything low vibrational. Like, let's just be real. The only reason a lot of women start moving this way is because they're in pain and they're mad and they're angry and they're upset and they want revenge, and they feel like the best way to get they feel like the best way to get their revenge is to do things beneath them and do things they would never really do in the first place. And I just want for the women who it's for, because there's still gonna be women like that. It is, and we're not gonna judge them. We're gonna let them do what they do. But feminines, y'all gotta find your balance, okay? There's nothing more valuable than you. There's nothing greater you can do for yourself than to pour into you and get your own bag and increase your intelligence and increase your health and work on your mental health and do everything you can to pour into you and make yourself more valuable and create that dream woman that you see in your head. I just feel like there's nothing more important than that. And I feel like you doing that, no, I don't feel like, I know that you doing that will literally attract whatever that prayer you said to God about the type of partner that you want, whatever lifestyle that you have written down, whatever you see in your head when you lay on your pillow at night, whatever it is that you feel that is for you is already for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even feel that way. And that is why you pouring into yourself is extremely important. You gotta be first. You gotta put yourself first. A lot of y'all are gonna be trying to jump on this heartless wave and have been doing it, and you're gonna crash and burn because that was never for you, okay? You can't go wrong trying to figure out what you're worth and sitting pretty on your throne and you being a queen. You cannot go wrong with that, okay? That's not bad advice at all. Do not be desperate. Do not go out here trying to chase anything. Sit pretty, okay? That's all you have to do. All you have to do is sit pretty, and you will attract exactly what is for you.